Alright guys, welcome to the new update on cryptocurrencies and Bitcoin in particular. Today we'll talk about altcoins mostly because there is some interesting data which I would like to share with you. But before that, just a couple of words about Bitcoin. As you remember, yesterday we had this breakout to almost $11,000, like $10,800, and then after that we had a return to $10,300, $400, and then after that, as we expected, basically we had the continuation of the decrease in the price, and the lowest point today was almost $10,000 with again pretty much no volume. So I remain pretty much neutral to slightly bearish because I believe that the price will go to where the volume is, and it's actually the question where the biggest volume is collected right now. I think there is still a lot of the sweet stops below $9,000 around here, and just the question, which is the bigger amount there, is there the stop orders for those who went long, or there's the buying pressure for those who would want to buy the dip? It's not clear right now. Well, in any case, for the price at the moment, what we can see is that we are in a pretty much of a channel for like a couple of weeks, and there was of course breakouts of this channel to the downside and to the upside, even here and here. Of course you can move the borders of this channel, but in any case most of the volume is collected when the price is going above or below previous highs and lows. So this was quite of the extended false breakout, so probably I would expect to see another one similar to this area, although of course it's not guaranteed, but a lot of people are trading with the edges of this channel right now, so the more we are moving in this direction, the more volume will be collected below and above of this channel. Also, if we'll look at the daily time frame, then we'll see that we are actually in between of 150 days moving average right now, and again this region is getting narrower, so the breakout is unavoidable at some point, and I think the best strategy is to stay flat and see where the price will go to follow it. Okay, but meanwhile what I was going to point out is that, as you may remember, yesterday we were talking about one of the on-chain metrics from Hans Hodl, showing that basically most of the long-term holders of Bitcoin didn't sell at this correction, and this is another interesting on-chain indicator, which is basically highlighting the proportion of Bitcoin with the age less than average dormancy. We actually covered all that in previous videos. Go ahead and check our on-chain analysis playlist. But basically what it says is that with the peaks of the price, we can see the huge spikes of those recently mined coins actively traded, and when it is the accumulation period, then those coins are not traded. And right now we see a huge increase in the portion of those coins in circulation, so you may argue that we are kind of approaching similar point of the new high, or at least new local high, because we didn't see anything like that in previous bottom or around the bottom. And it might be true, but I would say that the situation is actually much more complicated, because again, even here at the local quite huge bottom of the previous bear market, we had this spike, and we didn't have such a spike. Well, it was much lower in the previous low. So I would say that the current market is very different from the previous one, so we shouldn't be that pessimistic about this spike, and it could be just explained in more than one way. Alright guys, let's talk about altcoins. So you probably know Willy Woo. He is one of the analysts doing a lot of on-chain analysis and research, and recently he tweeted this. So the black line here, well, yellow of course the price of Bitcoin, but black line here is the altcoins capitalization divided by Bitcoin capitalization, kind of another version of altcoin dominance. And the red one is the volume of altcoins, and this is in the logarithmic chart. So you can see here that there's a clear trend line, support for a lot of the dips for these metrics, and in principle you may expect the bounce from this and going to the upside like it had many times before. And recently, just a few hours ago, there was an update of this chart. You see, indeed, this did touch this trend line, and Willy Woo is even plotting this line over here. So maybe, indeed, altcoins found the bottom. At least there is such a hope. Well, first of all, I would say that there is one good point from Dave the Wave, who is saying that actually if you'll plot it in the linear scale, then this trend line is much lower, so you can bounce from something like 30% lower from this current point, which is fair in my opinion. But there's another thing. So here is the total capitalization of altcoins, which I would like you to refer to. If you watch this channel for a while, then you remember that we were drawing this descending wedge for the altcoins capitalization, and in the end of December we had a breakout of this formation, and I was telling you guys that maybe there is a sign of the fact that the bear market is actually over, and then we actually tested this trend line. But from January we had another formation. This is broadening formation, and we had the top of this formation in the end of June. After that we tested the bottom, hovered around the trend line for a while, and then broke it downwards. So of course you can draw the trend lines over here. You can say that maybe it's like one of the critical levels and so on, but technically, considering again the same chart from Dave the Wave, could we go 30% lower? Yes, we could. We could be somewhere around here. And could we go even lower to something like this if Bitcoin will, for example, go to a new high, or it will break this $9,000 level and will drop? And usually altcoins are depreciating with respect to BTC price in either of these scenarios. So yes, it is really possible. So we can see even 50% drop easily for altcoins. So I also see the decrease in the volume on the way down. So this is another sign which is not really great. Moreover, if you look at this chart from Heikin Ashi perspective, then you will see that around here we had a chance that this downtrend will be over, that we actually had shorter and shorter bodies for the candles. We had this kind of reversal candle over here, potentially reversal candle, but it didn't work. Bears appear to be stronger, and we have a continuation of the downtrend. That is why, guys, I think that at the moment altcoins are still very risky. So just imagine that you have two options. You have either an option of trading Bitcoin, and again, just considering the fact that you either would have the breakout to the upside and then we have another rise, so you can actually enter on this breakout with a small leverage, with having liquidation positions somewhere at $5,000 or $6,000, and then you will have like 50% plus on your Bitcoin position if it will go higher, or you can close again if it will not. But if it will actually go lower and break this $9,000 level, then again we can wait for the reversal, and at that point not only Bitcoin but also altcoin will go lower, so there is no reason to buy altcoins on the way down. And at the point of the reversal, you again can take a leverage position on Bitcoin with like 1.5 leverage, and then the liquidation will be even lower, but you will have a guaranteed 50% on your Bitcoin upon its growth. While with altcoins, if you'll buy them, first you'd have to have a diversification to a very huge extent, because you will not be able to guess which altcoins are going to outperform others, and then they will get something like 20, 30, 50, maybe 2x. So the effective gain which you have from altcoins will be 50% max, I would say. But again, you need to monitor all the trades. You would need to risk that certain altcoins will not go up. You'd have to cover and analyze enormous number of the charts, and so on and so forth. So I would say that buying altcoins at this point is kind of a lottery. I think that they will make enormous gains when there will be a new hype wave, and they will make the rise, like if Bitcoin will make a rise above $20,000, then new fresh money will come to the market. So we will see people investing in low caps, so they will make like 100, 200 X's and so on. But for me personally, I would better wait for this point, and then when it will start, I will enter altcoins market, and then I will get maybe not 100% of the gain which I could get, but 80%. But at the same time, on the way up, I will get much more with Bitcoin. But again, this is just my personal opinion, not a financial advice. This may not fit your strategy, and in fact, things may go in a very different manner. Okay guys, I think that is it for today. I hope that it was useful. Thank you for watching.